Haribo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. This is Vrinda from Baltimore. I welcome you all for today's session. Maharaj has been giving a explanation on the series of verses from 11th canto on the glorification of Sankirtan. So Maharaj, are we continuing with the same verses or is there any other topic, Maharaj?
Yeah, verse 38.
Okay, I will just share the screen, Maharaj.
3 verses in one.
Yes, Maharaj. So Maharaj, the verses are 38 to 40.
Om Gyantimirandasya Gina Jana Salakaya Chaksun Malikam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya Desatarne. Panchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripasindupe Vachapatitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5. I think Narada's instructions to Vyasadeva is the title of the chapter. Verses 38 through 40. Krita Disho Prajarajan Kalavich Chanti Sambhavam Kalo Kalu Bhavishyanti Narayana Parayanaha Kvachit Kavchin Maharaja Dvavadeshu Chaburi Vishaha Tamrapari Nadi Yatra Kritamalo Payaswini Kaveri Cha Mahapunyam Pratichi Cha Mahanadi Ye Pibati Jalam Tasman Tasam Manujamanu Jaisura Prayobhakta Bhagavati Vasudevam Malasaya. My dear King, the inhabitants of Satya Yuga and other ages eagerly desire to take birth in this age of Kali, since in this age there will be many devotees of the Supreme Lord Narayan. These devotees will appear in various places, but will be especially numerous in South India. O Master of Men, in the age of Kali, those persons who drink the waters of the holy rivers of Dravidadesh, such as Tamraparni, Kritamala, Payaswini, extremely pious Kaveri, and the Pratichi Mahanadi, will almost all be pure-hearted devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Report. The Vedas contain information of past, present, and future living conditions throughout the universe. This is not very wonderful. For example, although at present time in India we are experiencing spring weather, we know that in the future the torrid summer will come, followed by the rainy season, autumn, and eventually winter and a new spring. Similarly, we know that these seasons have occurred repeatedly in the past. Thus, just as ordinary human beings can understand the past, present, and future seasons on earth, deliberate followers of the Vedic culture can easily understand the past, present, and future conditions of the seasonal ages of the earth and other planets. Inhabitants of such yuga are certainly aware of the conditions of Kali Yuga. They know that in Kali Yuga, the difficult material situation forces the living entity to take complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that the inhabitants of Kali Yuga therefore develop a high degree of love of Godhead. Therefore, although the inhabitants of such yuga are far more sinless, truthful, and self-controlled than the people of other ages, they desire to take birth in Kali Yuga in order to taste pure love of Krishna. Of course, this is all due to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who has brought the Yuga Dharma chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Without associating with the devotees of the Lord, no one can become an advanced devotee of the Lord. So this is very important. Without associating with the devotees of the Lord, no one can become an advanced devotee of the Lord. We see how important association is. Therefore, since in Kali Yuga, other Vedic processes collapse due to the unfavorable conditions, and since the only authorized Vedic process is the devotional chanting of the holy name, which is available to everyone, there will undoubtedly be innumerable Vaishnavas or devotees of the Lord in this age. Birth in this age is very favorable for one who is eager to associate with devotees. So if we're not eager to associate with devotees, and we have to manifest that eagerness by searching out and associating with devotees. Birth in this age is favorable for one who is eager to associate with devotees. So here's the favorable part. In fact, the Krishna conscious movement is establishing authorized Vaishnava temples throughout the world so that in numerous areas one may avail himself of association with pure Vaishnavas. So you see, here's one of the glories of Srila Prabhupada. He established so many Krishna conscious temples all around the world, and anywhere where one travels, they can take association of devotees by visiting these temples, taking Krishna Prasadam, getting the darshan of the deity, and attending the kirtans of the holy name. Association with the devotees of the Lord is far more valuable than any amount of association with persons who are merely self-controlled, sinless, or expert in Vedic scholarship. Here's a very important statement. Sometimes we opt for association with the non-devotees because we think they are better mannered, more kinder, or whatever. We find some good qualities in them, and then we think, boy, these people are better than the devotees, so I should associate with them. But this, as the verse explains, that not this verse, but there's another verse, that the devotees have all good qualities, where the non-devotees don't have any good qualities because they are governed by the changing material energy. It's a beautiful verse from the 5th canto, 18th chapter, verse number 12, which explains that people who are in the material life, their good qualities are all only external. It has nothing to do with the deep good qualities that come by way of associating with the process of devotional service. Therefore, it is stated 6:14:5, Muktanam apisidhanam narayana parayanam sadurlabha prashantatma kotisyapi mahamune. O great sage, among many millions who are liberated in perfect knowledge of liberation, one may be devotee of Lord Narayana or Krishna. Extremely rare to find these devotees. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. Similarly, it's stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 2254, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shasti Koi, Lavamatta Sadhu Sange Sarva Siddhi Hoi. The verdict of all Vedic scriptures that even by a moment association with the pure devotee, one can attain all success. So we shouldn't think this is some type of eulogy, that simply by a moment's association with the pure devotee, one can get success immediately. If one's consciousness is in the proper mood, one can receive the benefit of that association instantly and become purified. It's according to one's consciousness in that association. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the words Kvachit, Kvachit in this verse indicate that in Kali Yuga, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will appear in Gaudadesh in the district of Nadia. So here you can see this Bhagavatam was written many millions of years before Lord Chaitanya appeared, many thousands of years before Lord Chaitanya. And here it's already predicting. So you can see Bhagavatam is very futuristic and can explain things past, present, and future. We should take note of that because in our present situation, Srila Prabhupada has pointed in saying that the demons will become very powerful in the next 50 years and will try to take over the world and destroy the quality of life everywhere. This is what's happening right now. Prabhupada is also what is called Trikala Gyan. He could see past, present, and future. From this pivotal point, he will gradually expand, Lord Chaitanya will, the flood of love of God everywhere to cover the entire earth. Many exalted devotees such as Sri Advaita Acharya will take birth in Gaudiya Desh. The process of chanting the holy name of Krishna, Krishna Kirtan, is not limited to Kali Yuga. And the Vishnu Dharma, in relation to the story of the fallen sons of Kshatriya, it is said, Nadesha niyamas tatra, nakala niyamas tata, no chitas do, nise dyascham, Sri Harer namni lubdai kaha. There is no restriction of place or time or any injunction forbidding the acceptance of remnants of food, etc. When one has become greedy to chant the name of Sri Hari. Similarly, it is stated in the Skanda Purana, the Vishnu Dharma, and the Vaishakya Mahatmya section of the Padma Purana, Chakra Yudasya Namani Sada Sarvatra Kirtayet. The names of the Supreme Lord, who has the disc of weapons, should be glorified always and everywhere. In the Skanda Purana, it is stated, Nadesha Kalavastatma Sudyadikam Apeksate Kintu Swatantra Evatam Naman Kamati Amita Kamadam. The name of the Lord need not be chanted with regards to place, time, circumstantial conditions, preliminary self-purification, or other factors. Rather, it is completely independent of all other processes and rewards all the desires of those who eagerly chant it. Similarly, it is stated in the Vishnu Dharma, Kalo Krita Yudam Tasyam Kalis Tasya Kritam Yuge Yasya Chetasi Govindo. Ridaye Yasa Nachutaha. For one who has Lord Govinda in his heart, such a yuga becomes manifest in the midst of Kali Yuga. So here, it's very important to see and hear this. One who has Govinda in his heart, you are in such a yuga. You are no longer in Kali Yuga. Although Kali Yuga is all around you, your consciousness reflects the qualities of such yuga. And Conversely, even such yuga becomes Kali Yuga for one who does not have the infallible Lord in his heart. The holy name of Krishna is potent everywhere, at all times, in all circumstances. Therefore, one should always chant the holy names of the Lord, either in Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, heaven, hell, Vaikuntha. Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna, and Krishna, is always eternally the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His holy name is very powerful, not only in this age, but in all other ages. It's also effective. So what we're hearing here is that one should chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. Satatam kirtayanto mam. I don't think devotees really understand this statement. They think it's just some eulogy. Oh yeah, chanting always. No, it's actually an instruction given by the acharyas that if you want to bring in Krishna in a very clear and continuous way, one must continuously chant the holy names of the Lord, or we might say continuously engage in devotional service. You can't do practical service, you should always be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whether you're walking, you're sleeping, you're eating, you're talking, you're performing some activity, chant Hare Krishna always. And this is because this age is very bad, but we want to get out of the effects of this negative age. Therefore, this verse says, Etam nirvidyamanam ichchitam makutabayam yoginam nirpanirnitam harir namanukirtanam. So Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Maharaj Parikshit, O king, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. So the holy name is recommended for all categories of men. In this commentary on this verse in the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes, according to Srila Sukadeva Goswami, this way of attaining success, chanting of the holy name, is an established fact, concluded not only by him, but also by other previous acharyas. Don't have to make further evidence. The reader may consult Prabhupada's purport to this verse for a detailed explanation of the chanting of the holy name and the offenses to be avoided. So that's referring to this verse 2:111. In that purport, there is an extensive explanation of the glories of chanting of the holy name and a listing of the 10 offenses of the holy name with explanations. Don't forget this verse. Etad nirya vidyamananam ichchitam akutabayam yoginam nirpa nirnitvam harir namanukirtanam. Srimad-Bhagavatam 2:111. In the Vaishnav Chintamani, there is the following statement. Agat chit smaranam vishnur bhavaye yasena sadyate osta spandana matrena kirtanam tu tato varam. Although capable of destroying all sins, the remembrance of Lord Vishnu is achieved only with extraordinary effort. On the other hand, one may perform Krishna Kirtan simply by moving one's lips, and thus this process is superior. So here we're hearing, it is very difficult to put Krishna in your mind all the time, but one can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There are devotees who chant in their sleep. It is possible if you chant during the waking hours, you will also develop the tendency to chant in your sleep also. Yena Jama Sata Purvam Vasudeva Samarchitaha Tanmukam Harinamani Sadatistami Bharatam. O descendant of Bharat, the holy names of Vishnu are always vibrating in the mouth of one who has previously worshipped Vasudeva perfectly for hundreds of lifetimes. The same idea is conveyed in the Srimad-Bhagavatam by Srimati Devahuti. She speaks to her son Kapila, Aho Bataswa Patato Gideon, Pajiva Gray Vatata Navatubhyam, Taposta Pate Jivadu Sashnur Aryam, Brahma Madurchur Nama Granati Yete. Oh, how this verse is amazing. Oh, how glorious are those whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the family of dog eaters, such persons are worshipful. Persons who chant the holy name of your lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your lordship, they must have bathed at the holy places of pilgrimage, studied all the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. This is a very, very significant verse found in the third canto. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami has concluded that it is possible to perform kirtan equally in all ages. In Kali Yuga, however, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, personally by his causeless mercy induces the living entities to take to the holy name. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Ene Cheha Sarihi Mayam Nasi Badalagi Harinam Maha Mantra Vautu Nimagi. O conditioned souls, you are foolishly sleeping on the lap of the witch of Maya. I have brought an excellent medicine to cure the disease of your illusion. This medicine is called Harinam. It is my holy name. By taking this medicine, you will get all perfection in life. Therefore, I sincerely request you to please take this medicine that I have personally brought for you. So we are sleeping, and Maya's a witch, and she's just sticking her nails into you and sucking out your blood. And pretty soon you will be so weak you can't do anything. This is Maya. But here is the antidote for the poison of Maya's association. It chases Maya to the far end of the universe simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Another powerful verse is recited, Yagna Sankirtana Praya Yajantihi Sumedha Saha. The word Sankirta Praya by Jiva Goswami says mainly by the process of Sankirtan, that although other processes such as deity worship may be performed to some extent in Kali Yuga, such processes, in order to be successful, must be favorably connected with the chanting of Hare Krishna. One who is performing worship of the Krishna deity should know that the essential part of deity worship is constant chanting of the Lord's name. On the other hand, one who has perfectly chanted the holy name of the Lord need not depend on other process. This is expressed in the famous mantra, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Keva Lom, Kalom Nasteva, Nasteva, Nastieva, Gatir Anyata. This verse is actually quoted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this age of Kali, there is no alternative other than no alternative for spiritual progress. The holy name, the holy name, the holy name, coming from the Brihat Naradiya Puran. It is evidenced in the Bhagavatam also, Kalim Savajyanti Arya, that spiritually advanced person worship the age of Kali due to the facilities offered in age by this Lord, and it is not at all contradictory. Sometimes we think, wow, Kali Yuga is a terrible age. It is, but here is that bright light that dissipates the entire feature of Kali Yuga. Know that all of your problems will run to the far end of the universe and die there as soon as you become absorbed in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this verse, the last verse ends by saying, Payo Bhakti Bhagavati Vasudevam Malasayaha. Those who are able to drink the holy waters of South India will be pure-hearted devotees of Lord Vasudeva. In general, it indicates that those who are offensive to the Lord's devotees, proclaiming themselves to devotees, are not included within the list of Amalasaya, of pure-hearted souls. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has pointed out that one should not be bewildered by apparently seeing the poverty-stricken conditions of the inhabitants of South India. Even nowadays, the inhabitants of the places mentioned in this verse generally spend their days with meager eating and clothing, and live as great renounced devotees of the Supreme Lord. In other words, clothes do not make the man. To live as a polished animal, dressing oneself luxuriously and gratifying the senses, especially the tongue, with rich food is not the actual symptoms of the advanced transcendentalists. We like dal, rice, chapati, sabji, hey. Although the residents of South India are generally Sri Vaishnavas, devotees of Lakshmi Sampradaya, they are recognized as devotees of the Lord by the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, their austere living conditions should be taken as their good qualifications and not otherwise. So we hear from this very powerful and very extensive explanation on this verse, and it glorifies the inhabitants of South India because it says that the Vedic culture is still alive in South India. Mostly northern India has been polluted by invaders, but in South India, it is still very much alive, although even South India is being challenged by modern technology in the form of television, which is the one-eyed demon that is ravaging all good qualities of the living entity. Television is meant for those who are completely in illusion. This increases the illusion more and more and more. Okay, so we'll stop there. Any comments on this verse and purport?
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for explaining about these verses. Such a beautiful verse, and the purport given by Srila Prabhupada is like nectar. And thank you so much for explaining about it. I would request devotees, if there are any questions, comments, realizations, please go ahead. Also, please turn on your videos, turn on your cameras if possible.
We're churning the nectar of the holy name, the philosophy that centers around the holy name. Help us become more aware of how glorious it is and how complete it is in the process of perfection to chant Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj, it is wonderful to see. It's mentioned in the purport that a favorable part of Kali Yuga that we can associate with devotees and also take benefit of Harinam. So it is so wonderful. It's like a positive aspect of Kali Yuga. Thank you.
The most positive.
Yes.
It's not, this age is so bad. There's nothing good about it.
Yes. So dear devotees, please go ahead with your questions, comments, realizations, any sharings. Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Vrinda. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your divine lotus feet, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for this wonderful, powerful verse. And as we are reading through this verse, it makes you almost you rejoice about this wonderful feature of Kali Yuga, that yes, it is a very bad age, but the most wonderful thing about this age is Lord Krishna giving us himself in the form of holy names, and that we can attain all perfection, which is going all the way back home, back to Krishna, simply by perfecting this process of chanting the holy names. So it's like, wow, Kali Yuga is indeed very wonderful, simply because the Lord has given this process of chanting in order to go back home, back to Krishna. So I just to share that it's a time for
thank you for highlighting that, because it's the essence. This is the compassionate nature of the Lord in this age. Because in this age, people are so unqualified in all respects, both materially and spiritually. And they are inclined to forgetfulness, they're inclined to laziness, they're inclined to sinful activities. They're inclined to, so many bad qualities in this age, but all of these can be overturned and purified with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There's one story where one of Srila Prabhupada's god brothers, who went to the West, he was being approached by another one of Prabhupada's god brothers, who was Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. If we know Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, we should learn about him if we don't. He was constantly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and either doing that or he was doing bhajans, always constantly chanting. So he approached this god brother and said to him, my dear god brother, you went to the West and Bhaktivedanta went to the West. You are a great scholar of the Vedas, and he is also, but you failed in spreading Krishna consciousness, and Bhaktivedanta was successful. Why? A rhetorical statement with a question. Both of you are highly qualified, and both of you went to the West, and both of you were equipped with the knowledge, but he was successful and you failed. Why? So the answer was that god brother, very senior god brother, he couldn't answer. And then Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj said, because Bhaktivedanta had complete faith that by spreading the holy names of the Lord everywhere, then he would be able to bring Lord Chaitanya's movement everywhere and anywhere. And that was the key. Prabhupada had that faith. He started with a little bongo drum in the middle of New York in one place called, what was the name of that park?
Tompkins Square Park.
Tompkins Square Park. And Prabhupada just beating on the drum, and people came. And these white elephants, that was us, we were dancing, trying to dance. And people were attracted, and that was the beginning of the movement. And then the East Village Other, which was a hippie newspaper, they one person, he wrote an article, which was Chant Hare Krishna, stay high forever, never come down. Because people were into drugs around that time. They were all taking all kinds of psychedelic drugs and all kinds of other forms of drugs. And that was big. Prabhupada started his mission right in the middle of the drug culture. People were on drugs. Prabhupada gave him something better. Prabhupada emphasized the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and that was his success.
Anyone else would like to share anything from this verse? Please go ahead. Sudha Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, thank you, Guru Maharaj, for the very nice class. So, Guru Maharaj, I have two questions. My first question is like about here, deity worship may be performed to some extent. It should be like done like a supportive, but the chanting is the main. Could you please, Guru Maharaj, like a little bit explain on that? Like we also like have a deities like in ISKCON we worship. So how much we have to allocate for it? How much?
Well, grihastas, those who live in family life, there is an emphasis on deity worship because of the association with the material energy is more prominent. Those who live in the temple, it's different, but those who live outside, they should keep deities. And therefore, that helps them to develop consciousness of Krishna in the form of the deity. It also helps them to develop the qualities of the mode of goodness, which are simplicity, cleanliness, truthfulness, tolerance, patience, pridelessness, humility, all of these qualities. So we can help develop. Therefore, Prabhupada gave us deity worship as a parallel to supporting the consciousness of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is necessary. You have to come to the mode of goodness, otherwise it becomes difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. But then there's devotees who are very advanced in Krishna consciousness who simply absorb themselves in deity worship, but they still chant the holy names of the Lord.
Okay.
So deity worship is for the neophyte devotee, and deity worship is for the very advanced devotee.
Yes. Okay, Guru Maharaj, yeah, definitely. I think when we do in the morning, when we start with the Mangalarti and doing ghee lamp, it really gives us that positive enforcement to chant and to follow the principles. Guru Maharaj, I have one more question. I think Guru Maharaj, yeah. Okay. Guru Maharaj, I have one more question about Sankirtana yesterday. Mentioned like chanting, if you chant properly, you can do a good chant, a good Sankirtana. So just this is like to kids, you know, kids, they like to do Kirtana, but they don't chant. So is it okay for them to do Kirtana, that case? Like, do you?
Yeah, we usually say children should start chanting around 7 years old on beads.
Okay.
Yeah, around 7 you can start teaching, give them beads and start teaching them. Before then, let them chant whatever way they want.
Okay. So still, even though they don't chant, it's okay for them to do kirtan, sankirtan.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah. You can chant anytime, any place.
Okay. Okay, Guru Maharaj. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Because I see with my kids also, they don't chant, but they like to do kirtan. So I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. How old are they?
I mean, younger one is 11 and my older one is like high school. Yeah, my older one chants, he does like 5 to 6 rounds. But
Good.
my younger one, he likes kirtan, doing kirtan, but chanting, like, even though he does, he rushes. He just, because since I tell him, he rushes. He wants to just finish off. So just want to make sure it's not any offense or anything to do like that. Yeah.
As long as he can chant something on the beats. If
Mhm.
you give him too many rounds, then something.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sudha Mataji. Devananda Pandit Prabhu ji has raised a question in chat. Prabhuji, would you like to ask the question?
Yes, please. Hare Krishna. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Please read my question from the chat. Thank you.
Okay, I can read it for Maharaj. He's asking a question from the purport Srimad-Bhagavatam 296. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma has sung in every verse, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Thus Brahma was initiated by the Krishna mantra by Lord Krishna himself, and thus he became a Vaishnava or a devotee of the Lord before he was able to construct the huge universe. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita that Lord Brahma was initiated into the 18-letter Krishna mantra, which is generally accepted by all the devotees of Lord Krishna. One who is thus initiated in the disciplic succession is able to achieve the same result or power of creation. Chanting of this holy mantra is the only shelter of the desireless pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by such tapasya or penance, the devotee of the Lord achieves all perfections like Lord Brahma. So he's asking, what is the 18-letter Krishna mantra?
18 syllable?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It's the chanting of the holy name. Mantra. Hare Krishna.
I think there is 16 syllables.
It's 16, 32 syllables, 16 words. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. How many is that? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Is that 18? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That's 15.
No? There is not 18 as well.
Could be the Gopal mantra. Krishnaya, Govindaya, Gopi Jana Vallabhaya, Swaha. Krishnaya, Govindaya, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Swaha. I think it's the Gopal mantra.
Mm.
Klim, Krishnaya, Govindaya, Gopijana Vallabhaya, Swaha. That's 18. That's the mantra.
Mm.
Well, yeah, it's one of the lines of the Gayatri Mantra, which is the Gopal mantra. It's meant for worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can chant it. Nobody's stopping you from chanting it. Chant it. But you have to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra along with that, because that's the instructions of the acharyas. So if you want to add that to your chanting, you can, but you can't stop your other chanting. That's good. It's chanted by the second initiates, but anyway, but you can chant that mantra if you want. But I would think you should get it from the spiritual master directly instead of trying to just adopt it because Lord Brahma. We shouldn't think we're in the same rasa as Lord Brahma. We might be in a different rasa. That mantra covers, Krishnaya, which is the Madan Gopal, Govindaya, which is Govinda, and Gopijana Vallabhaya, which is Gopinath, the three main deities. The three main deities of Vrindavan are covered in that. Deity of Avideya, the deity of Sambandha, Avideya, and Prayojan, which makes up the entire process of bhakti. These three, and these are represented by these three deities. That's found in the Gopal mantra. Prabhupada didn't give us that. That's found in the Gayatri mantra when you receive second initiation from your spiritual master. Then you can begin chanting it as part of your Gayatri. If we can perfect the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that would be a great achievement. And then once we get second initiation, then we can start doing the Gopal mantra or the Gayatri mantra, which is the Guru mantra. The Guru mantra is the Gayatri mantra. The Hare Krishna mantra is open for everyone. Gayatri doesn't have any effect unless it's given to directly by the spiritual master. People can read the mantras. It's written in different books, but you won't get the benefit unless you receive it directly from the spiritual master. And that comes with the second initiation. Better to qualify yourself and become second initiated, then you'll be able to chant that mantra regularly.
Sridevi Mataji, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, actually, I don't, but I'm speaking on behalf of Namrata, who requested me to ask this question of Guru Maharaj. Her humble obeisances to you, Guru Maharaj. She says, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. She apologizes. She's not able to actually be in on the live class, but she's listening to all the recordings. And she's asking this question about yesterday's class. What are the offenses that possibly happens during Kirtan? Your insignificant servant, Namrata.
Well, they center around the holy name itself, and there's 10 offenses to the holy name. They can also happen in the chanting of Kirtan also. You think that the holy name is just part of the ritualistic ceremonies that are found in the different Vedas. To become inattentive during the chanting of the holy name in Kirtan. To not develop a taste for the holy name after chanting for a number of years. So the 10 offenses to the holy name that we use for japa, some of them apply to Kirtan also.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
And to perform any other kind of Kirtan, like Kali Kirtan, that's offensive. There are people who perform Kali Kirtan. Kirtan means Krishna Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. So tomorrow we switch over to the devotees from Charlotte. If someone can send me the verse, that would be nice. Maybe Sudha, you live in Charlotte, so maybe you can get that verse to me somehow.
Sure, Guru Maharaj, I'll check and I'll let you.
Or check with Srimati, she's not here today. So.
Yeah, sure, Guru Maharaj, I'll check local devotees. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj.
We have to travel today, so we have to close soon. Thank you very much. These verses are worth reading over and over again and studying. If we're eager to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we'll develop a taste for that. If we don't have any eagerness, then we will never develop a taste. Without a taste, you can't continue. So taste is important. The holy name is the sweetest of all taste. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj, for everyday sharing and explaining about the importance of holy name. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and association. Thank you, dear devotees.
We'll see you all along with the devotees from Charlotte tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.